Hello. This is Rachel from Sweet Bee Paper Co. How are you? I hope you are doing well. Welcome to week 6 of the Summer Fun Ephemera Challenge. Make sure you use hashtag Summer Fun Ephemera. If you upload a video, make sure you tag me on Instagram so I can see things that you have made. I would love to see. And so this week, for week 6, we are doing stamped fabric clusters. So I've seen a few videos of people stamping fabric and using them in clusters or by themselves or even on snippet rolls, and I really like that. So for today, you are going to need some kind of light fabric. Probably a cotton would work the best, but if you don't have anything like that, or a muslin, or something lighter, you could probably use an old t-shirt too that maybe is that you no longer want and don't mind kind of cutting up. I've got scraps of muslin from when I was covering boxes to make junk journals and stuff, so I do want to use some of these today as well. Make sure you've got some stamps ready to go. You can use whatever stamps you want, your word stamps. This is really up to you and what you have in your collection. I am going to do some script stamping on some of these little strips here. I think that might be kind of cool. So I am going to use that. Make sure you are using a permanent ink. As far as the rest of your fabric, need some fabric scraps. So I have this is my little container of small scraps. I'm sure there's some stuff in here I can use today. And maybe some lace. So I've got a piece from a tablecloth I've kind of been cutting some pieces from, and I have some regular lace as well to make the clusters too. So I think I will be making some clusters and some just stamped on there to use in creations. I won't have them all as clusters today. So I do have some already stamped on this muslin, which looks super cute. So I wanted to show you kind of both. So let's go ahead and make a little cluster. So after you've gotten your stamps onto your fabric, you can cut it out. Don't cut super close because this is optional, but I am going to fray the edges of this. Or if you don't want to fray the edges, you could also just, leave it as is. Or if you have some pinking shears, you could use those as well. But I've got a pin here. You can use your fingers to fray. I like using a pin just because it doesn't hurt my hand as much. So I just start grabbing at the strings on the edges and just start pulling. Go around all sides. And all the strings that you're pulling off, some of them you can just go ahead and that are kind of barely hanging on, I would go ahead and pull those off, but otherwise I would let them kind of hang off of there. Looks kind of cool and tattered because we kind of want it to look a little worn, right? So there's my little stamped piece of fabric. Isn't that cute? So now I want to get into my scraps and just kind of see what I've got going on in here. what about that? Oh my gosh. It is July 3rd and people are already going nuts with fireworks. So if you hear some, that's what that is. I think I'm just going to pinking shear. So as far as these fabrics going around, you could use your pinking shears on them. You could fray them. I kind of like doing something different with each of the fabrics. So since I frayed this one, I kind of want to do the pinking shears just for a different kind of look of texture. So I've got this little piece cut from the tablecloth. I think we'll kind of, I really like that. And then, oops, kind of add a little bit of color to that. So as far as gluing your fabrics on, I've been using, I experimented with the Fabri-Tac, I've experimented with the tacky glue. That's kind of up to you, whatever you like to use. The issue I had with the Fabri-Tac is that it really showed through this thin fabric, and I just put a ton of glue on, but you really don't need too much glue on these. Just enough to get it on there and kind of stuck down. I'm not sewing any of these. This is pretty much it. I'm not doing extra sewing, or yeah. So now I'm just going to add some of the tacky glue to the tablecloth. Maybe we'll do it at an angle instead. That looks cute. These are super easy and I think they're super pretty. Here's one of the bunny ones I did earlier. So this one I used the tacky glue and it's probably still drying, but it really showed through the fabric. So I didn't do anything to the muslin fabric. I kind of frayed the top a little bit, but I frayed the piece I glued down, or glued the bunny to, excuse me. And then I had some of this thick lace that I glued both of those on top of, and that was it. Isn't that cute? These are super simple. Just kind of using up some of your fabric scraps and stuff like that. So let me, I think I want to stamp a couple with this. So this feels more like, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like cross stitch linen. So I carved a couple stamps of my own last year and I kind of wanted to use, this is one of them. I really want to carve some more stamps. It was so much fun. It's just I'm not really sure what to carve. Oh, doesn't that look neat? I love that. I want another one. Will that fit? Yeah, these I'm just going to cut out with the pinking shears and kind of just have ready to go for whenever I want to use them in a journal or whatnot, like I said earlier. So that's kind of up to you, however you want to do these. If you want to do a bunch for a bunch of clusters, or just have a bunch of images like those stamped and ready to go. So let me cut these out. So I'm definitely using the pinking shears. So whatever fabrics you have available you want to try to stamp on, those look so cool. Love them. So then let's do a couple. Let me get a magazine to put down. Magazine, where did you go? So I'm just going to take this strip that was cut off that's got selvage on it, put some ink on my script stamp and then just go along here and stamp that on. There. Doesn't that look cool? So now whenever we need a piece of this, we can just chop off however much we want. I was going to trim this up, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. So we've got that ready to go. But I am going to go ahead and stamp the rest of this piece here and make some more clusters out of what I have left here. I'll make some out of these, and I will be back here shortly. Okay, I am back. I just wiped down my desk so it looks a little wet. So there is the one we did with the script stamp. So on the white linen stuff, these are all the ones I stamped on that. Really cute. I definitely think, hello kitty, the fireworks are finally mostly over, so one of the cats has come out. I definitely want to cut another piece from that tablecloth and stamp some more, but I've got a good several here to kind of start with. Let's look at all of the clusters. I love these so much. So that's the one we did earlier, and I showed you that one. So here's the rest. I love that one with the pine cone. They're kind of dry. They still need a while to to completely dry, so I think I'll wait to put them in the container, but they look so good. So I really tried to use a lot of those triangle pieces I had. I kind of trimmed off a little bit, and I kind of went back and used the pin on these to really kind of get more strings. I love this one a lot. I think that one is so pretty. I love that stamp. It's so cool. Let's see. A couple of the bunny ones left. This one, I think when I glue it down, it'll the lace will lay down a little better. But this was part of that other lacy tablecloth. I just cut a piece of the edge off there. But anyway, I hope you like doing these. These were so fun and just kind of simple, and like I really had to kind of turn my brain off to kind of do the clusters, and then I only kind of did 3 things on them. So you can do as many kind of elements that you want added to them. That's entirely up to you. I kind of wanted to keep it a little simple. Like this one, I had the backing fabric, the stamped fabric, then some lace, then some of the like tablecloth I cut up. So a couple different layers, which looks really pretty. Yeah, it's up to you however you want to do. Let whatever you have in your stash kind of, you know, show you what you can do with yours. But I really hope you like making these. Super easy and fun, which is what we like. So for next week, so that will be for week 7, you are going to need some washi tape and some junk mail envelopes, which I kind of have been bringing up the last couple weeks so that you can save them up for this. So you can use, you know, the junk mail envelopes with the window on them, without, you know, whatever you kind of have, and your washi tape, and you'll need some glue. So I'm really excited about next week, and I really hope you like making these. Make sure you use the hashtag Summer Fun Ephemera or tag me so I can see anything that you make. And I will see you next week for week 7. Bye!